Voiceover Teja here, and today I'm going to be sharing with you guys how I effectively Bible study. So I highly recommend getting yourself a study Bible and of course a notebook. You can use like colored pencils and markers and pens, but what's most important is that you just have something to write with. So of course, the first thing that I'm going to recommend is creating a key. It's always good when verse mapping, because when you look back at the verses and chapters that you read, it's good to understand why you wrote and highlighted what you did. So looking through this specific Bible, I actually wanted to show you guys why I like it so much. And it is because it breaks down things for you. So I'm actually going to go back and show you guys that, of course, you start with the Old Testament. It tells you where you are. And then going into each first page of the book, it shares with you the author, the date when it was written, where it takes place. And then it gives you a whole bunch of themes that you might be able to think about when reading the book of Genesis. And then an entire introduction. So you're not left just opening the Bible and then just reading. And then when you actually start reading, there's extra space for you to put any other notes that you might have. So flipping the page here, this is another reason why I really like this Bible, is because it gives you a page and it asks questions about specific verses in the book. And then it also gives you just the design, and the design is basically different versions of the same verse, and then it gives you definitions. And then it asks just a couple of questions so that you can reflect on what you just read and not be left wondering, I guess. When I close the book, I'm going to show you guys these tabs that I put, and this actually came separately from the actual Bible. You can invest in these if you want to, but they just help me flip to the pages like quicker and easier. And here's just a blank page that I was sharing with you guys earlier about, the verse, and then asking questions about that verse. Now, moving on to a pretty important tool to effectively Bible study is a notebook. Now, I'm gonna be honest with y'all, okay? It took me a while to actually figure out what Bible studying looked like for me. At first, I was just spilling on the page, and then I was writing down thoughts. And then as you can see, my thoughts, sometimes I didn't really have any. I just had a question. So it looked a little bit different. But then I actually started to see what worked for me, and actually breaking down into different verses is what helps me, and then asking myself specific questions. Usually it's the how can I apply, and then when I use that, I kind of use other specific things that come after that, like how can I apply this verse to my business? How can I apply this verse to my YouTube, to my relationships, to my relationship with God specifically, and then relationships with others, and then what does it mean for me? So now I'm going to share with you guys what else I use to Bible study, and the first one is the Bible app by YouVersion. And so I typically would just click on the verse of the day, and then it would share with me the verse. And then if I'm not really particularly liking that verse, then I would click on the whole chapter and look at different verses in that chapter. And then if I'm also not really feeling it, then I would look at different versions to try to get a better understanding. And then if that also is like, it's okay, then I would actually click on prayer And then this is where I would use to guide myself into either praying about it, like what am I going to Bible study today, or looking at the questions that they ask here to kind of Bible study that. And so that's one good app. So another app that I like to use is called Study Bible, and this one is specifically reading the Bible. You can highlight and create notes. Now I stay in Peter and I also stay in Proverbs, but there's different versions down here. Hopefully I can zoom in to see. There's an audio version that I just clicked on, but I forgot that I actually did that. And then you can actually have bookmarks. So I was in Genesis, Psalms, and Matthew, that you have like when you make bookmarks when you're actually Bible studying. And then this is just other tools to use. Then you click on the side panel, and then you can actually click on resources that they have. You can click on devotionals, and it can guide you also in your Bible study. And then also there are sermons that you can listen to. So when I click on that, sometimes they're an hour, sometimes they're 30 minutes, 25 minutes. Overall, the main things that I wanted to share with you guys is to make sure you have a notebook and get a study Bible. And when you invest in the study Bible, write down a key to help you break down the verse. And here is another example of that, because I can go back and look at these notes, and when I go back to my key, I can see exactly what I was talking about, what kind of state of mind I was in when reading it. But yeah, and then also have an objective when you are going to study. I used to just jump into reading the Bible and then jump right back out because I was like, I don't know where I'm going with this, what's the purpose. But once you find that, like, okay, so this is why I'm gonna do this, asking yourself questions, answering answering prompts, and using several apps to guide you through Bible study, it makes it a whole lot easier. But thank you guys so much for watching this week's video. I can definitely go into more detail in the future, but I try to keep it very beginner friendly. But if you liked it, leave a like, comment, share, subscribe. But thank you guys, love y'all, and bye.